Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all the viewers. Myself Mohammad Talha, and today in this video I will be explaining one of the assessment, one of the topic, or you can say one of the project which is given by my professor Sir Qasim. So the topic is technology push versus demand pull. So in this project, I have chosen solar panels as my innovation, and I will be explaining in a very briefly and simple way so you can understand. Solar panel, actually, as you all are aware, it is very commonly used in our locality, in our society. Even you might be using the solar panels. So actually, solar panel is a system that converts the sunlight into electricity, and that electricity is used in our household, like fans, air conditioner, refrigerator. So the term I have mentioned earlier, the technology push, I will be explaining that. So technology push, you can say technology push refers to a situation where innovation starts from scientific research and technological development rather than from the customer demand. In simple words, if I would say, scientists or engineers, they create something. If they create something now, even when the people are not even asking for it, and later this innovation finds its use in the market. In the case of solar panels, the initial development was clearly a technology push. Scientists work on solar energy because they wanted to explore the new energy sources, and improve the, you can say, technology. At that time, there were no strong demand from customers for solar panels. People were already traditionally using things like coal, gas. Even there is a iron that is used uh, in for pressing the clothes. Now I will be telling you about the demand pull. Uh, so in our previous topic, the technology push, I hope you understood that. I would also recall. So basically, technology push usually happens uh, in the early stages of innovation, where the focus is more on discovery and the experimentation rather than the customer need. Now we have demand pull. Demand pull is actually the opposite. It is completely like opposite to technology push. It happens when the innovation is driven by customer need and market demand. uh, so in this case, so demand pull is the opposite of technology push. Like it is completely different from the technology push, which I have explained earlier. So demand pull, it happens mostly when the innovation is driven by customer need and market demand. The demand pull, like it, as I mentioned, it is completely different from the technology push, and it happens when the innovation is driven by customer need and market demand. I hope you're getting my point. So in this case, the companies, they improve their products because people want it better. Like it's a demand from the customer. For solar panels, demand pull became important later as people became more aware for the environmental issues like pollution, which is the main destructive for a society, for the environment, for the climate. And so in this scenario, they started demanding the clean and renewable energy. At the same time, electricity prices increased, which made people look for cheap alternatives. Like people started approaching the cheap alternatives for the cheap things. So, and if I would say, the government, they also played a big role by promoting the renewable energies. As you can see in the electronic media, not in social media, in electronic media, you can see there are many advertisements, uh, which is played in many platforms. So government also played a big role by promoting the renewable energy and giving also incentives for the solar panel installation because of this increasing demand, as it is an increasing demand by the customers. So they made solar panels more efficient, affordable, uh, accessible. Now we have the S curve. S curve is actually a model that shows how technology develops and improves over time. It is called an S curve because of the shape of the graph looks like the letter S. So in the first stage, there is a term used, mainly the emergence stage. So the technology is new and not fully developed. Progress is slow, the performance is low, and in the case of solar panels, this stage occurred when the technology was first invented, as it was expensive, inefficient, and used only in limited areas. The second stage is the growth stage where the technology improves rapidly. Companies invest more in the research and development and performs the increasement very quickly. The cost also decreases. The technology was so expand, as we can all see in our society. Majority of the people are using solar panels, so they are becoming cheaper, more efficient, and widely used. The final stage is the maturity stage, where the technology reaches its maximum potential. Improvement became very slow, and the performance levels off. At this point, the companies may start looking for a new technology to replace the old one. And if I would recall the everything which I have mentioned, so if we combine everything, we can see that solar panels technology started with the technology push when the scientists they develop it without any strong market demand, as customer and government began demanding for the clean and renewable energy solutions. So according to S curve, solar panels are currently in the growth stage, where the adoption is increasing and technology is recovering, or you can say improving rapidly.